Hey, what's up everybody, it's Alfar here, and today we have the Expansion 1 Tunnels of Terror update. Now remember, I'll put the patch notes below and the link in the description, and I am going to be reading these word for word and giving you my thoughts, so giving you a heads up on that. So here are the patch notes, and the first thing we're going to read is the new features. The first thing it says is 7 Ridden hives. Newly slighted strains of Ridden guard incredible treasures in their underground labyrinth layers. Raise Ridden hives and take these powerful weapons and items for yourselves, if you survive. 2 new cleaners, Hang and Charisse. 2 new cleaners join the fight. Craft makeshift armor as a stalwart Charisse, or pick the ever-resourceful Hang to provide additional supplies along with visibility on obscured items and prepper stashes. Accessible in both campaign and swarm PvP for DLC owners, and unlockable in swarm PvP for non-DLC owners. One key thing to note right here, it says for those who don't own Tunnels of Terrors, you can still access this content if you play with another cleaner who does. So let's go to the third bullet, and it says 3 new warp Ridden in campaign and swarm PvP. And then it says skull totem supply lines. Find skull totems within Ridden hives and exchange them for all new items and cosmetics available in skull totem supply lines. 7 legendary weapons, 13 legendary attachments, 12 new achievements and accomplishments. And I already know what the achievements are, and if you want to know what they are, just look in the link in the description or look in the card above. New difficulty, No Hope. Relentless Ridden forces will tear you apart in a new hair-raising difficulty, No Hope. Cleaners who conquer the highest difficulty will reap significant rewards and prove their place among the best of the best. 12 new player cards, and if they're mentioning the player cards that they've already previewed, here they are right now. I'll put them on the screen. And then it says 5 new director cards, 2 of them Ridden hive specific. New character skins, new weapon skins, new banners, sprays, and emblems, and unbolting weapon attachments. In the safe room, cleaners can unbolt their weapon for 500 copper. Once unbolted, they may freely swap or remove weapon attachments. With the new weaponsmith card, the price is lower and unbolting weapon attachments outside of the safe room becomes available. So there you go. You can finally remove attachments, but with the 500 copper price tag. Now, if you have that new weaponsmith card, you can unbolt an attachment for 400 copper. And every time there's a copy of that card, so if each cleaner has that card, the cost is reduced by 100 copper. Next we have is quick play supply points incentives. Joining through quick play will grant a flat SP bonus per map. Recruit 10 supply points. Veteran 20 supply points. Nightmare 30 supply points. Now let's move on to campaign updates. Improved environment reflections throughout the game. Added various minor improvements to water visuals. Added improvements to flashlight visuals. Ping waypoints are now color tinted to represent items tier. Reduced number of alarmed doors on campaign maps. Players can no longer take damage before the safe room doors open. Added an additional life to nightmare difficulty and swarm in preparation for mom's passive ability adjustment. Removed timed objectives. Move speed buffs / debuffs no longer affect sprint speed. Catch up weapons now roll with attachments based on act progression. Rescaled attachment spawn rates to better synergize with the new weaponsmith functionality. All standard player card purchases cost normalized to 500 copper. Global temporary decay rate reduced to 1.75 from 2. Tall boys and their variants can no longer cause cars to explode. Now let's move on to the general card updates, and I'm only going to highlight a few, but there are a bunch here. So the first one I want to highlight is Bomb Squad. Now, they just nerfed this card, and this was my favorite card to use in PvE and in PvP. And it says 25% team explosion damage, 20% team explosion resistance, and 1 frag grenade spawn per map. The old Bomb Squad had 100% explosive damage and 35% explosive resistance. And now another thing they have here is Money Grubber's card can only be triggered 25 times in a given map. This is in response to adding the Cost of Avarice card. And then we have Run Like Hell. Now gives 15% sprint speed, and it used to only give 12% after they nerfed it. And now we're going to move on to the corruption card updates, and this one is Blighted Ridden. Reduced chance to apply to 33% from 50%. Reduced pull duration to 6 seconds from 8 seconds. And next we have is Refactored Biohazard. Ridden deal 25% extra damage, 3 temporary health per kill, 100% bolstered health, and 200% increased temporary health decay. And then the last one is Silence is Golden. Cleaners can no longer roll both the Silence is Golden objective and Gloom/Lockdown director cards. Now let's move on to the balance updates, and I'm going to try to focus on only the cleaners here and some important aspects of the game that we use all the time in the higher difficulties. But I'm going to just try to get to the specifics because there's a lot of numbers here, and if you want to check this out, again, check out the link in the description for these patch notes. Let's start with the Doc stat updates. Doc's team trauma resistance reduced to 20% from 25%. Bonus healing efficiency reduced to 15% from 20%. So she got a mini nerf right there. And now let's move on to Mom ability refactored. Mom's team passive is now plus 100% team revive speed and 20% slower team temp health decay. Quick revive ability removed. So she just got a whole reworked right there. But honestly, I kind of like this rework because I'd rather have 100% team revive speed than being able to quick revive somebody once per level. I think it's more effective if you can revive someone fast multiple times rather than just reviving someone fast one time and then that's it. And then you got to wait till the next level. So team stamina, team health, and team ammo have all been reduced to 1,000 copper whenever you purchase those perks in the beginning of each mission in the vendor crate. You can see grenade, barbed wire, and painkillers all cost more, and basically all of them have been nerfed. Now let's move on to the weapon updates and its added improvements to the flashbang screen effects. Cleaners can now throw gas can and propane tanks 25% farther. Added cleaner self flash for flashbang accessories. Next is spawn updates. Increase roaming special spawn cooldown by 45 seconds. Roaming specials now have a 45 to 75 second cooldown after a horde is triggered. Wandering specials now have a 12 to 18 second cooldown after a horde is triggered. Roaming specials are now limited to 2 of any type. Wandering specials are now limited to 2 of any type. Bot updates. And the next are Ridden updates. You can check these out. They're very minor, like Reeker base health reduced to 400 from 500. Reeker stumble resistance decreased by 25%. It's very minor here, but we're going to move on to the Swarm updates. Judging from what I see right now, this is the biggest I've ever seen a Swarm update page. You know, usually it goes from like here to like here, and then we're done for the day for the patch notes for Swarm. So let's get it. We're going to start from the top. There may now only be one of each special Ridden variant at a time in Swarm mode. We received feedback from the Swarm PvP community regarding stack Ridden selection strategies becoming too strong. This is to encourage diverse Ridden selections when playing. So no more 2 tall boys and 2 wretches. That was the meta in PvP. Now you have to pick one of each. Now the next thing is playable Stinger and variants no longer able to shoot projectiles while in the air in Swarm PvP. Now that is a dagger to my heart because you guys know if you watch me play Swarm, I love playing the Stinger and I love jumping around, shooting, and they just ripped my heart out with that patch note right there. Now the next thing is Wretch's Vomit effect outline now remains centered on reticle. Multiple cards added to Swarm PvP decks, several cards removed from Swarm PvP decks. So I have to check out which cards have been added and which cards have been removed. And now I'm going to have more Swarm deck videos to give you guys because now we have new cards, so that means new builds. Next is balance updates. Increase 2D minimum spawn distance for special Riddens from 7.5 meters to 10 meters. Ferocious and Monstrous mutation health and damage have both been decreased. The common evolution mutation order is now Armored, Charred, Blighted, and Festering. Reduce range of Charred Common DOT fire effect from 2.65 meters to 1.75 meters. Updated per variant health regeneration rates for special Ridden. Burst bonus mutation effects updated for tall boys. Outgoing damage buff reduced to 25% from 50%. Incoming damage buff reduced to 25% from 30%. The next one is a big one, which is Stinger's Kill Frenzy Mutation Effect reduced to 5 seconds from 10 seconds. It's a big one because when you get someone down or your teammate gets someone down, you're able to use the Stinger's Phlegm or their Spit ability as much as you want for that amount of time, which was 10 seconds. Now it's 5 seconds, so that's a short amount of time. So that's a big nerf for the Stinger right there. Bruiser's Frenzy damage increased to 12.5 per hit. Bruiser's damage increased to 17.5 25 from 15. Bruiser's Frenzy now deals 12.5 base damage per hit regardless of range. So the Bruiser got a little buff right there. So with the Crusher, their initial damage has been increased, but their minimum and maximum damage has been decreased. And Crusher's trauma damage has been increased to 50 from 40%. And then the last thing here is the Smelling Salts card, which is your revive speed. So it got increased to 200% from 150%. Now the rest of the patch notes have to do with accessibility, UI, and bug fixes. So if you're interested, I'll have a link in the description and you can check it out for yourself. But these are the patch notes for this expansion. I hope to see you guys on my stream, whether it's YouTube or Twitch at Alfaro POV. I'm gonna be streaming this expansion all day, every day, and I'm gonna be posting mad videos. So stay tuned and check out my Back for Blood playlist, and I'll see you in the next one.